Good evening, welcome back if you've been here before. I'm Wendy. I am the person who does the Spooky Woodles channels. So where can you find me? I am on YouTube as Spooky Woodles, I'm on TikTok as Spooky Woodles, and I am on Instagram as Spooky Woodles. But not on Facebook. I'm on Facebook as Wendy's Knitting and Crochet because for whatever reason it won't let me have Spooky Woodles. Oh well. I do have to say an apology to start off with because I disappeared for a couple of weeks. I don't really have an excuse except for it was the kids were on holiday. I made the stupid assumption that I would be able to post in the evenings after they go to bed, not taking into account that it's very, very busy and I was just too tired this time. I was out for the count by sort of 9 o'clock. By the time they'd gone to bed, I think there was a few days that I actually fell asleep before they did, wasn't there?
Getting there.
Yeah. I didn't pace, and I've had a couple of sort of boom bust cycles and flare ups and that, which has also slowed down my knitting and crochet. So I didn't, even if I'd had time to record, I wouldn't have had much to show you. I also, coupled with the last 7 days of really debilitating migraines. I've had like 1 or 2 days where I've been okay, but I've had some really nasty migraines this past week as well, haven't I, James?
Yep.
And unfortunately, all I can do when I get a migraine is, because medication doesn't work on me, I have to just go to a dark, cool room and go to sleep. That's the only way I can deal with that. So, on a brighter note, even though I've been tired, I've been able to get quite a bit of reading done. I've just realised, like, part of me is cut out. Let me just move a bit. There we go. That'll do. It's fine. I've managed to get quite a bit of reading done, so I will touch on that after I've showed you my few things that I've made. I did finish a project. I made an entire project over Easter, but that has gone. And true to form, I have neither recorded nor taken any photos of it, but I made another bouquet blanket for James's sister for her birthday, and I finished it off in the car on the way to her, so I didn't have time to take pictures or anything. So that's with her. I also made a hat for my dad, and that's gone to him. And I've not recorded anything for that, but with the other half of the yarn I have made another hat. So this is made using the New Fashion DK acrylic, 100% acrylic, because that is in my budget, and it's quite nice. I don't mind it, and it works out quite quickly, and this will be going on my eBay to sell. I also have this one, which is made with James. The tag is just down there. Can you pass it to me, please? Because I'm blanking again. Thank you. So this is King Cole Autumn Chunky, and this is 80% acrylic and 20% wool. And you knit on 6mm needles. This was on sale, so I got this really quite cheap, really cheap. It was on sale at my local yarn shop, and I got quite a few balls of it because of how cheap it was. So again, this is going up to sell on eBay. So that's those two, and then a whip. I've got more whips, but as I said, I've made hardly any, minimal progress, so I've not got too much to show you. This is my sweater vest, which still looks absolutely massive, but I'm sure it's fine. It's not like I'm small. So I have seamed the pieces together. I finished the front and back and seamed the pieces together, and I have the ribbing on one armhole. I've got the rest to do, and then I'll have to weave in the ends. So I'm hoping that now things will calm down a bit because the children are back at school, I can get some more stuff done, but we'll see. That is it for knitting and crochet, and I'm going to move on to reading now because I just finished a book, and it's a book by one of my absolute favourite authors, and this is the final book in it's a complete series, but it's like sort of 2 series into one, so it's 8 books and it's all completed. And the author has said that that's it for that storyline. So it's a little bit sad for me, but the book was amazing. So I can't say it any other way. The book was amazing. So the book was The Demon King by Peter V. Brett, and again, this is the second series, but the books they do run in order anyway, so you could just read them all one after the other. 8 books altogether completed. Lovely job. You haven't got to wait for anything. But this is the finishing up of the story. I feel like I'm not done with the universe that this is in, but that's a me problem. I just weren't ready for it to end. But it's such a good book. It's so well written, and I highly recommend it. I don't want to say too much because if you would like to read it, I don't want to give anything away, especially if you haven't read the other books, which you need to read before you read this one. You can't just drop it in. You need to read the other books.
It's the final part of a trilogy of a sequel series.
Yeah, it's the final part of a trilogy of a sequel series. So the first series was called the Demon Cycle Saga, and that was 5 books, and then this one was 3 books. And you can't just drop in on this. You need to read the others, and I would highly recommend reading right from the beginning. There are several novellas as well that run alongside, and I do highly recommend, if you're going to read them all. You won't regret it. They are some of the best books I've ever read, and it's just the way they're written. The author, he's so good. He makes you feel like you're actually there. The interactions between the people, the sidelines, like you've got timelines running together, and you. Sometimes I struggle when you jump from place to place to place, between different people's stories, but you don't here. It's done so very well. Absolutely amazing. So the first book in the original series, the first book set here is called The Painted Man in the UK. In America, it's The Warded Man, isn't it? And it's by Peter Brett, obviously. And this is where it all begins. And again, it's so well written. There's a lot of world building, obviously. But he does it so amazingly. Like, I could not put any of these down, and I've read these from this one. I started when I was pregnant with my eldest son.
Really?
Yeah, so that's crazy, isn't it? Someone introduced me, recommended this because they saw that they noticed that I liked fantasy and said, "Oh, give this a try, fantastic." And then I read this, and I think the second one was out as well, so I read that, and possibly the third. I know I had to wait for some of them, which I found incredibly difficult, and it's what I found difficult with these as well, because obviously I read them when they first come out, and I had to wait and wait and wait, and I found it really hard. And one of them, I think it might have been the first one, which is The Desert Prince, that got put back because of COVID. Was it The Desert Prince that wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was I could understand why, but I was just like, I just want to read it. I want to go back to there. So I settled myself with rereading the first 5. But they are fantastic. I do reread. I've reread the originals quite a few times. I have them all on Audible as well. And I'm trying to get them. I don't have them all in hardback. James, every time he finds a hardback copy, does get me them. But I think I've got a couple that are paperback. But I've got all of these 3 in hardback, and James got me this one in hardback, which is great. But they are some of the best books I've ever written. I didn't write them. Oh my god, I've ever read. I never know. I'm sorry.
Sorry, Peter. She's not trying to take
credit. Yeah,
no,
I'm not. Honestly, not. They are amazing, though. They're amazing. And he also recently branched into cozy fantasy as well. This is the first cozy fantasy book. It's very small, but very, very good. I really enjoyed this, and sort of cozy fantasy. I've been getting into that in the last sort of year or so, because it's nice to take a break from all the big, heavy stuff. But that's very well done, considering what he usually writes and everything. This is very well done as well. Love it. I would happily recommend his books all day, every day. They are amazing. And I think that they're worth a try. If you like fantasy, they are worth a try. What harm's it going to do? If you don't enjoy them, you don't enjoy them. But I honestly think you will. So I'll stop going on about that. And this is the one I have started recently. I have had this for years. I believe James bought it for me. Was it James?
Yeah, me.
Sure it was you.
Me.
I thought it was my friend that bought it for me, but James is adamant it was him. So
I'm sure I bought it for you.
but this maybe he recommended it and then you bought it.
Maybe he did buy it.
Or maybe he did buy it.
Someone named James bought that book for you.
Yes, it was one of the Jameses. I am sure it was him though. I am adamant it was him and not you. So James, if you're watching this was you, wasn't it? I'm sure it was. This was you, wasn't it? I have a best friend. A breast friend? I don't have a breast friend called James. I have a best friend called James as well. So there is sometimes confusion when I talk about James to other people. They're like, what? You know. But this book, it's by one of my favourite comedians, Daniel Sloss, and it's called Everyone You Hate Is Going to Die, and Other Comforting Thoughts on Family, Friends, Sex, Love, and More Things That Ruin Your Life. And I love it so far. I've not got too far into it because I only started it yesterday. And again, I've had to be pulled away from this several times. Really, really, it's so funny. It's so funny and sort of so serious. It's not serious, but so funny, and but it makes you think as well. And I just love it. I think it's great. I think it's my sort of sense of humour, which is great. And Daniel Sloss is not for everyone. Not for everyone. I love him. I think he's fantastic. But having recommended Daniel Sloss to some other people who have not, but I think he's amazing. I'm not going to swear because I don't usually swear in my books. Why am I trying to claim books? I'm getting tired. I don't usually swear in my videos, so I'm not going to. But there is a lot of swearing in this, and there is a lot of swearing in the Daniel Sloss shows. He has 2 live shows on Netflix, and there's some other stuff floating around. Lots of other stuff. I was meant to go see him, and we were meant to go see him. Was it 2021? 2022? And we couldn't go.
Yeah.
Because I got sick. So, well, we all got sick, but I got sick worse. Got COVID. So, you know, unable to go, which I'm gutted about, and I would love to go and see Daniel Sloss, and I really hope that he comes and does a show nearby one day so that I can go see him. But this is a really good book. It's just like watching one of his shows, but you're reading it. It's just, I love it. And there's been quite a few times where I've been reading it and just really laughing really loud and getting some funny looks. But I'm getting distracted because I want to start reading it again. I think that's it for today. It's been a bit waffly. I do apologise. It was supposed to be 5 minutes. It's been nearly 15 minutes. But this is me. This is me. And I'm going to go now, edit that, and then read that, put those away on the shelf where they belong, all together in the order. And maybe have a cup of decaf coffee or a chamomile. Honestly, I think I might need a chamomile. And I will hopefully pop back on again tomorrow. I really would like to do a Whip Wednesday tomorrow and a couple of other bits if I can. We will see what happens. Can't make any promises because if I promise and then I don't do it, I feel really bad. So I'm not promising. Have a good night, everyone. It's getting quite late, so whoever's still awake. And again, hopefully see you tomorrow. Bye.